Hey everybody, Dogbird here, taking a look today of Jessica Jones, if she is worth building up or not, and how she performs in side of like a dark dimension, if she would be good for there too, or if she's good for any other modes. But primarily this is a war character, technically. But as you're going to see, there's some pros and cons to her that make her useful outside of just her intended purpose of war. So first we'll take a look at the pros. And that she is an energy battery for the team. Using her special, she can generate 4 ability energy just to random allies. Unfortunately, it is random. That would be the downside to it. But she can also generate this off of her basic, and we know it's a 50. It's only a 50-50 chance. It's still better than nothing. And she is one of the few characters that can hand out energy to anybody as well. She does have currently the highest resistance in the game, meaning she is probably not going to get any negative effects. She's not going to get stunned. She's not going to get blinded because of this. She also has incredibly high focus, top 20 in the game. So, and she goes to do something that, like clear some positive effects, she's definitely going to probably do it. She does have overall good survivability. She has increased stats now, so she can take some hits and survive. But you still need a healer with her, of course, because she doesn't have any self-sustain, which is, spoiler alert, is one of the cons. And she can clear positive effects from all enemies using her ultimate, in which case it gets like 100,000% focus on top of her already high focus, meaning she will clear those positive effects. And she can also clear negative effects. In addition to that, the energy battery she cleanses all the negative effects from her teammates if you T4 it. That can be quite useful and probably be very valuable in the upcoming Scourge. This can also be very useful in Dark Dimensions if you're considering taking her in. And most of her abilities and effects can actually happen outside of war. Although there is only one that is actually tied to war, and that is getting the extra speed bar on spawn. That only happens inside of war. Everything else can happen outside of war. It's not war dependent. And of course, the last thing is she is needed for Rogue Scourge event. Whether she's going to be on the main team, whether she's going to be on the SAC team, I think you're still going to need her at some point. She could be part of a hybrid team. We don't know yet because we don't know what that Scourge looks like. Of course, there is always cons to a character. In this case, it's because she's part of a war offense team. You're not going to be using her in raids. She is bio. That bio team is, of course, the Web Warriors. You're not going to use her in arena. Simply, there's no place for her in the current arena meta. She is very expensive to gear. If you want to take her to gear 15 or gear 16, she is a 72-piece character, meaning you'll need 72 pieces of each of the gear 15s or 72 of the mini unique steals. 5 of the 6 slots if you're taking her to gear 16 are teal pieces. That's very expensive. There's only one slot that is a blue slot. That's it. On top of this, to go from gear 12 to gear 15 takes over 2,000 SBCs on her. Given the SBC crunch, that could be a negative for you. She is very T4 heavy. You can make the argument to T4 all her abilities. That's for sure. So if you're low in T4s, this may not be the character for you. She is on the slower side at 114 speed nowadays. That is considered on the slower side. She's kind of middle of the pack. But she does eventually take turns. Hard to say. She doesn't really have any self-sustain. She does put a barrier up on herself, but she can't actually heal herself. You'll need somebody to heal her to keep her going. But her good survivability overall means she won't take a whole lot of damage and should be able to live through it and get to it until you can get a heal on her. The last con is a lot of her abilities are tied to the A-Force or Defenders, and that it only gives like extra energy on top of the normal energy she gives out only to like A-Force or Defenders. Her basic is probably the best example where it's guaranteed for herself or A-Force, I believe, or Defenders. So that's something to think about. Now let's go and take a look at her inside the game and inside of Dark Dimension 3. So here's my Jessica Jones I'm going to be bringing in. She is level 75. Gear 14, blue ISO level 3 striker. It's very easy for me to get some blue ISOs nowadays. She is 4 red, 7 yellow, so this is a very good baseline. We're going to see what she can really do. She is T4 heavy in that you need. I believe that 3 of these T4s are definitely nice to have and necessary. This fourth one, the passive, could be a nice to have. This one is definitely, I think, necessary. Clearing all positive effects, plus she does 50% extra damage to the primary and adjacent targets. That could be, as low as 150% worth of damage to, 250% depending on how many targets are around here, or 300% actually, never mind. But you know that this is definitely going to clear the positive effects with 100,000% focus. And if we look at our focus set, even at this level, it's going to be ridiculously high. The special is definitely another nice one. Definitely want to get because it clears all the negative effects. The fact that it gives +1 defense up to herself or a force allies and gives her immunity is just a nice bonus. And finally, this one's probably on the nice to have list. The basic, just generate 1 ability for a random defender or A-Force ally herself that was not at full energy, just giving her some energy essentially. And then each attack, of course, has a 50% chance to generate ability energy for herself or a random ally. She is definitely an energy battery. Even giving herself is actually quite useful. Giving herself energy, I should say, is quite useful, because then we can get to the special again, which can generate that 4 ability energy for random allies, and an energy for herself, or an A-Force ally if you're running other A-Force. So now that we've looked at her in-game, let's go and take a look at her in Dark Dimension 3. Yeah, here we are in Dark Dimension 3. The team I have put together is 3 of the Web Warriors, Spider-Man, OG Spider-Man, Ghost Spider, and Scarlet Spider, along with Shang-Chi. OG Spider-Man, Ghost Spider, and Shang-Chi are all Gear 16. Scarlet Spider's Gear 15. This is not a how to do your nodes, this is just to see how Jessica Jones performs. And this could be a very viable team that you could build because of Jessica Jones, of course, now being Scourge. But we just want to see how she works. That's pretty much it. And the Web Warriors have had difficulty even at these gear levels to get through Dark Dimension 3 city nodes. So it's not completely a bad thing. Shang-Chi is mostly here because he can heal. I do have Healer ISO on Scarlet Spider thanks to the Scourge event. I already had that maxed out, it didn't cost me anything. So here we finally get our first Jessica Jones. Let's clear those positive effects. Not only did she clear the positive effects, she also killed them, which is good. Here's the reason why we brought Shang-Chi. We can heal up a little bit. That's mostly the reason why I did bring him, was to help heal Jessica Jones. That's one fault with her, is she does not have self-healing, so you're going to need somebody to heal her up. But she does give herself barrier. That would help out with her survivability. Alright, now we got a chance to get some energy out there. Help the team out. You see, now we have Spider-Man Special again. Putting some defense downs out there. It'd be better if I had used up some of these cooldowns, but she gave herself energy on that basic, nobody else. And we're through the first node. Of course, the first node being the easiest, so let's go to the second. As we wait for the eternally long loading screen. Well, she did take the hits there, and so far okay. She does get a pretty big boost when she hit Gear 14 to her hit points. Alright. Put that ability block somebody. So gets in your stretchy. The Spider-Man stun is just so situational. She gave herself ability energy, nobody else. him. Alright. Let's actually stun that Mr. Fantastic. Let's get some defense downs out. Okay, remember Scarlet Spider does not get all those, does not get the offensive down or the slow. Let's clear off those defense ups. Give it a heal. So far she hasn't taken a whole lot of damage, even though she's getting hit pretty good. Shang-Chi, go around and kill everybody. Got some energy out there to Shang-Chi even. Energy is always a valuable thing. So far it's been pretty hard to tell how much of a difference she's really making, but an energy battery is always a good thing to have. Now we're going to get a little bit harder. This is usually where things break down, as Node 3 and Node 4. And we really start to see just how survivable a character is. Alright, let's just kick everybody. This ability to block that lieutenant. Don't need them getting speed up and offense up. Throw a car at him. Knocked out Scarlet Witch. Let's go after Ant-Man. The basic is very random when it gives energy, and even if it attacks multiple times. That's why the basic T4 is just kind of a nice little luxury. You're stuck behind this Juggernaut taunt. Okay, got through Juggernaut. We'll just kick basic there. Let's do that. Got some energy out of Shang-Chi. The energy is random, so you can see she has given herself barrier. So far doing pretty good. Usually by now, if like even when I was using Cloak and Dagger, things would be getting a little bit hairy once I get to this wave. Alright, let's just do this. We've got rid of a couple. Looks like Miles dodged. I get rid of him. I don't think we need any energy regeneration right now. We didn't have any negative effects to clear. Alright, so we got the stun. We do have a slow, but let's try to clear these debuffs. Alright, no debuffs right now to clear. Maybe we can get rid of one. Yes. Don't really need the heal. Let's do a basic. Get some defense downs out over there. Okay, she did get ability blocked. But will still generate energy at least. Almost done with this node. Oh, Zhang's ability block. Get rid of that last Mysterio. And we're through that node. We did take some damage to Jessica. We need to heal her up a little bit. Maybe the next node. I am glad to see that she is surviving pretty well. Despite not really having a real healer dedicated. Really haven't gotten to see her value as much with the energy and clearing debuffs because we haven't had a lot. And then we got some though. That's ability block Strange. We do need to get rid of that Elsa. Alright. She's not too damaged, so we can just do this kick, knock out the speed bar. Defense down on Elsa. Alright, no real buffs to clear. Let's just do energy regeneration anyway. Got some big ghost spider. Let's do a little bit of healing. Once we got rid of Wanda, that's always good. We work on Ghost Rider. Kick. No debuffs to get rid, no buffs I should say to get rid of, so let's just hit Loki. So I'm kind of just saving things rather than just hit them. Let's get the stun on Elsa. See, now here's where it would be nice to have Jessica take a turn, but she doesn't have that up because I used it like an idiot. Alright, start the card. Get rid of that taunt. Oops. Let's ability block Carnage. Don't need him doing his big hit. Extend. Well, a few times I actually use that middle ability. Get some energy out. Heal up. Rid of the Merc Lieutenant. Generate some abilities. Try to get rid of these Bloodstones. Okay, let's spread that. I honestly don't know if we need to put defense downs out. We already have them. Try to do all that nice work. Not getting a whole lot of energy off that base except back to herself. That hit, but she resists it. Having good resistance is always good to resist those debuffs. Alright, let's actually ability block Elsa. that in here. Just to try to do some damage. Shang-Chi doing most of our work. Step in crossbones. Let's get some energy out there. So, as we come down to, I am seeing potential here for Jessica to be a good Dark Dimension character. That's one thing the Web Warriors and even the symbiotes even lacked was energy regeneration. He kind of has had a way for their cooldowns to be up and pray. But, for a team that normally could struggle a little bit between these nodes with the wrong person in the 5th, this is doing pretty well. Those Lokis always pose a big problem for Cloak and Dagger. I wish I had seen the basic do something more to give herself energy. Since this is supposed to go to a random ally 50% of the time, I really haven't seen it. It'd also be interesting to see how she fares with Cloak and Dagger, but whether or not people are still building them with the increased cost Mystic Gears remains to be seen. So there we are through the city nodes with Jessica Jones. She does look like a decent character. Might be worth bringing into Dark Dimension. You do have to build her for the Scourge event probably. And should be good there too. Till next time.